crowd that size,
Perfect
not
for
a single
meditation.
heavy purse. Dare I presume I've caught your eye?
Make yourself scarce now. We're the best there is.
Whatever 'tis you...
Perchance you've heard. The coronation is soon to be held, it seems. The Sovereign, wounded in glorious combat with the dragon, is recovered at last. No tidings could be more joyous, indeed. 'Tis a weight off my heart to think that our fair...
Is there aught you require? I dare say you don't, but I do not waste my...
I've no time to entertain the likes of you.
I've no time to waste on the likes of you.
Know you of any... We don't have business.
Suppose I best earn my keep. My body's not forgiving me for last night's scuffle.
Tis good to be reunited. Good tidings to you.
I'm the predicament.
At last we've arrived. Delivery.
At least here I can enjoy my own company.
Over here, if you please. Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to explore, I shall guide you another time. The Arisen decides our path.
Ah, you've returned. Oh, my spectacles. With these, I shall have no need to fear any letter. I shall learn aught I can, but the day might come when I can repay this debt. Take this as a token of my gratitude.
Outstanding.
If I were you.
This way, Master.
Gregor.
Yes, sir. Ah, forgive me. I had assumed if that's not the case, you will have to... Ah, I'll take that.
You're wasting your time talking to me.
Pray, follow me. We have reached our destination.
Good tidings, friend. As for me, I made the most of my week-long sojourn. One might even say I enjoyed myself overmuch. You see, I grew so fond of the destination my feet carried me off to, methinks I should... And that's when I thought, mayhap you've grown just as fond of this dwelling. Fond enough to... I can't just give it to you, mind. I've my relocation costs to consider, but I'd sell it to you cheap as I can afford. Well, friend, what say you? Much obliged, friend. I hope you're as pleased with our deal. Suppose I'd best be off. I've my own home to get to.
Same as the one afore.
Just your...
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive me, but I must return to my rounds. Ah, but in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premise. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived. An unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now even their poor son Lubomir has fallen. By chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money, so he was put into our care. This is generally used as a material. I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time. Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there. Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... Gah... Something isn't right about this. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the gracious hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but...
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen. There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times, which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeared for...
Chaos in the world begins with chaos.
Sir, and none say the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. Oh, you've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
To get to the bottom of what is happening at the Gracious Hand, we shall have to acquire evidence of any misdeeds. I quite agree.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Might I beg but a moment of your time? I fear I've much to attend to.
Perhaps you've a moment to spare, and...
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Got something for me?
I have noticed that the abbess goes out every night without fail. Perhaps you could wait for her to leave and slip into the basement sick room there.
Wickedness has no hope. Heads on my feet.
Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business.
A moment's prayer can do a world of good.
Medicine? Medicine! 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 Now! Now!
Oh, someone help me. Jahan? Oh.
How might we enter the basement sick room? Splendid. Mayhap 'twould serve us well to track down the former patients mentioned in these records of treatment.
You have my support.
Would that I could count courage among my virtues.
You're back. Pray, tell me, have you found anything? I have noticed that the abbess goes out every night without fail. Perhaps you could wait for her to leave.
Them nobles do nothing but dust the street. Where's my guitar? My claw mustn't use its wrist.
I'm in need of a new skill.
You fond of those eyes? Keep them to yourself.
If you've naught to say...
Is it true you're the Arisen? Only, I seem to recall, just be sure you play a fellow Drake or two.
I haven't seen my husband in some time.
Elena? Ah, yes. The Abbess of the Gracious Hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something... You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker, till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died down there. And once, I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up. And he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. He had the look they were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well... Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night, as I recall.
Lady Eleanor's a good... I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the supposed is only to be expected. Given the state of those assembled, I'm sure I was moaning too.
I haven't seen...
Time to be heading.
I'm ill at he's in.
I'm going to go exploring.
Bit much for me. This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
Ah, excellent find.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special...
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
Aye, be seeing you.
This is not the first we've heard of Lord Phasis. What could his aim be, I wonder?
I'm not sure what we're dealing with here.
I fear I've much to attend to.
Ah, I'll take that.
We might find a use for it.
Chaos of the map.
You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found anything? These look like records of treatment. Johann and Bruno. I know these two. At any rate, they may know aught of use. Loath as I am to ask more of you, perhaps you would speak to them in my stead? What? You're back! Pray, tell me, have you found anything? What? You found a medicine used only in the... Do you think... Could I trouble you to look into this as well? Mayhap you could show it to the doctor I saw before coming here. Radcliffe, his name was. He's staying in the rest town. Pray, sir, do what you can. I must know.
Methinks we would do well to bring this medicine to Sir Ratcliffe, the doctor over in the rest town.
I quite agree.
It is my duty to devote my life.
It is quite
But I would fain escort you to the castle entrance.
I'm about ready to fall asleep.
Is there nary a chance to make a fresh acquaintance?
row if aught goes awry.
My sword arm. The perfect spot to sit and think a while.
On me to bear what young shoulders Silence cultivates wisdom.
Surely it wasn't my affairs of which they whispered.
Beauty fades, but truth will marry.
Depths. Nice place, this. No carry to it.
I only pray my watch finishes without it. But I am drunk.
'Twouldn't do to meddle in... Surely these
Cast off the stresses of the...
What can I serve?
What else did I have to do?
This place is very dreary.
Where to now? There's ought to be said. Peace. Once the day's work is done, the
Well now, you're...
What is it? Has something happened?
We have it on good authority that a suspicious individual passed through here.
We need to scour the area. Well, scour will be right.
In here.
Open up!
You're dressed rather austerely for a patron.
My humblest apologies, Lady Wilhelmina. We've had reports of an unseemly character in the vicinity, you see, and...
Preposterous. I was out front till but a moment ago, and I did not see so much as a shadow.
Be that as it may.
You are excused. Leave this place, ere you invite our noble host's wrath upon yourself. I will summon you if aught is amiss.
Pray forgive the intrusion.
And what business have you here? In the nobles' playground? Hmm? You've the face of someone in search of a juicy morsel. Would you be looking for this, perchance?
Come on, then. Keep pouring. Do you take me for some green lad who can't handle his cups? I'm your damned king, and a king deserves royal treatment.
Of course, Your Majesty. Tell us, Your Majesty, would you prefer more drink, or shall we find some other way to amuse ourselves?
Aye. Let's change things up.
I believe I cautioned you to keep your drunken revelry in check, lest you forget these celebrations of your valor are but a pretense for more serious matters.
I know. I do. It's just I get the poison in me and things happen is all.
You need only serve as our false king until Sven becomes consul. Till then, however, you would do well to remember that your role demands a certain degree of dignity. I trust you understand your position, Your Majesty.
Nay, I mean, as you say, I'll go and sober up.
Why not remove yours as well? This is not the masquerade hall, and we now find ourselves quite alone. What say we dispense with such pretenses and speak openly with one another, Lord Phasus?
That will do. If you're discovered, yours won't be the only head that rolls. What is your purpose here, I wonder? If you came to learn of the Sovereign, then 'tis as you have seen. The man is naught but a ale-swilling pretender propped up by the Queen Regent. Of course, that begs the question. If he's a mere mummer, then where might our true Arisen be? You'd best go. I'll do what I can to help you make your escape. As you can see, I run an establishment that caters to certain pleasure. You're welcome to come and play anytime, if you escape with your life, that is. Know, however, that our services do not come cheap. Come see me in my bordlery, whene'er you're so inclined. I'll instruct my attendants to send you straight to me.
Hope that vagrant doesn't show his face in here.
What is life without a little spice?
I'm mind off my troubles.
Always a fresh breeze blowing round.
Delightful breeze.
I ought to find someone to buy me a drink.
Oh, how lovely. I'll have to remember this place.
A place to soothe the spirit, this.
From me to bear what young
This place is very dreary.
That patron's eyeing me, I dare say.
Where did you go, Master? 'Twas dreadful lonesome without you.
Do take care not to stray so far next time.
Let's head to market.
Welcome. Do make yourself at home. You're free to approach whome'er catches your eye.
Aren't you sweet? I'd be glad to have you. You're free to approach whome'er catches your eye.
Welcome. Do make yourself...
Well met, sir. You seem a kindly. If you see someone you like, go speak with them.
Can't help but talk in a whisper when I'm here.
Off to market I go. Near see that wretched patron again.
Not much going on.
What is life without a little spice? A place to soothe the... I'd have sworn I had always...
A treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it? Over here, if you please.
They're a useful ingredient.
This is my first. Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to explore, I shall guide you another time.
'Tis not for us to gainsay the Arisen's judgment. We must go where we are bid.
Always patrolling does a number on my shoulders. Sometimes I wonder if I'm kind of...
We must rest. Open your eyes, everyone. 'Tis dark out, but our day begins.
Shall we check our packs and be off?
Oh, I don't know about you, but I am full of...
We're here, Master.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. I bear word from Regent Ken Sven, your Majesty. He espied the delivery of a suspicious package to a man named Allard, a minister who happens to be one of the Queen Regent's staunchest and most powerful allies in the palace. From the pains he took to remain on scene, 'tis plain that Allard wished this delivery kept away from prying eyes. That alone is reason to suspect a connection to Deeza's schemes. We must get to the bottom of it. The Regent Kin intends to call Allard to his chambers come nightfall. He bids you to use this opportunity to search the minister's chambers and see if there's aught to be learned. What say you, your Majesty? Are you willing to undertake? I shall ensure that the door to the minister's chambers is open between midnight and dawn. Pray, use that time to infiltrate and uncover aught worthy of suspicion.
I am confident we shall see this matter to a successful conclusion.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to... Well, well. He is merely Deeza's puppet then. 'Tis likely that he knows naught of her schemes. Even were he to be removed, I suspect some other would simply be made to take his place. But if there's aught that compels my attention, 'Tis this other man you mention. Phases, was it? He seems a man of import, and yet I have never heard of him. Pray, allow me to investigate this matter further. You've done well, Your Majesty. Thank you.
Queen Regent...
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen Your Majesty's claim as... So the acting chief of Melve was blamed. I suspect this is some ploy of the Queen Regent and her ilk to lay claim to the village territory. However, I've heard no report of her capture as of yet. It may well be that she is safe. Perchance, she has fled somewhere. Is there aught else you would speak of, Your Majesty? I have been pursuing all of the channels available to me, but I am afraid I have yet to uncover any new information pertaining to the false sovereign. Would Your Majesty be willing to venture? Is there aught else you would speak of, Your Majesty? Do not forget that we work to serve the...
Would you mind coming over here? I dare not...
Won't someone do aught about this?
We shall remain here.
You are the Arisen, yes? Follow me! Tis best you move along. Pray, be cautious, Your Majesty.
What business could be so pressing that I must be summoned at this late hour?
I would not presume to know, my lord. However, it must be a highly sensitive matter for the Regent Kin to request a private audience.
Or perhaps the boy has finally grown wise to the benefits my favor can bring. He might just be his mother's...
My lord, if someone were to overhear...
Oh, unwring your hands, you fool! As if anyone in this palace would dare say a word against me. Now, if Wilhelmina calls, tell her to await me in my chambers. I will return presently.
Surely none more important than this. I speak of the ascension of the Sovereign.
Indeed. But that, Your Grace, would be better discussed in the presence of your mother.
Well, well. We meet again. Is this stealthy business becoming a habit of yours?
Oi! Who goes there? Who's there?
Tut, tut. Now, this just won't do. How's a lady supposed to work with all these interruptions?
Oh, it is you, Lady Wilhelmina.
Mm-hmm. Do excuse us. We thought to enjoy a little fresh air. Though we had hoped for slightly more privacy, if you catch my meaning.
Apologies, milady. But might I ask the name of your companion?
Are you sure it would be wise? Such knowledge has been known to cost a man his head.
Understood, milady. If anyone asks, I shall say I saw naught.
A narrow escape. You should count yourself lucky that he was so easily flustered. I don't appreciate having my motives questioned. I did as I saw fit. Need I say more? Something tells me this shan't be the last I see of you. Perhaps you'll be good enough to repay me when next we meet. Off you go now. If you wish to speak further, 'twill have to wait. This is neither the time nor the place. Off you go now. If you wish... Off you go now. If you wish to speak further, 'twill have to wait. This is...
Keep moving. 'Tis our duty to see this. It seems you've made a discovery regarding the false sovereign.
All the best tales come.
There's a ladder here.
We ought to put it to good use.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim. As a true, I know this sigil well. 'Tis the crest of the neighboring country of Batal, a land with which Vermin has no official dealings at present. Let me see. Pray make haste in securing a meager clue. Though the political situation is stable at present, much blood has been spilled between Vermund and its neighbor. I fear such a partnership would only portend the drawing of more. At any rate, 'twould seem our search has led us to only more questions. Chief among them, what is meant by securing Melve? And I will investigate these matters as best I can. In the interim, Your Majesty, should you have time to spare, might you make for Melve? Only once we have gleaned a fragment of the Queen Regent's plot can we begin to thwart it. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. But
Phases. Now there's a name to remember.
If we mean to mine gold ore, I know just the place. I can guide you to the place, Arisen, or thereabouts.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
put you in elemental room.
Surely this is a jest. All that effort for so little gain?
Rarely have I felt so empty.
Look here, a pond.
How many of their ilk must we defeat?
Nothing left to fight.
I'm going to enjoy it.
Can't move.
Dare I say it? We trounced our foe, well and true.
Well, there's still room for improvement. You're staring, Arisen. Has aught yonder caught your eye?